Just wait a couple of seconds. Apparently I am live. So, 2 seconds. I'll have a drink. If anybody happens to be watching me, I think there's 1 or 2 there. Past few days, I've had a bit of a sort of play around with streaming, and also it's for the podcast I do with Al, because I've gone down a bit of an editing rabbit hole with the podcast I do with Al, because we had a guest on there, and normally the editing's minimal, but this time it's got a bit out of hand. So I was trying to look at a better way and a slightly better quality way of doing it. So my sound wasn't brilliant, though I've managed to play with it a bit, get it a little better. But I've also got a new microphone on its way, which will help me at this end. But I've been using Google, not Google Keep, what do you call it? Google Meet. And then you screen record off that. It's not the best in the world. So yesterday I did a test stream that Al popped in on, that I was playing around using OBS and something else and screen recording, and that just didn't work very well at all. So it's one of these really trying to find a way of doing it. So I was looking around at all the free ones. If you hear grumbling, it's my little Yorkie in the background. What are you doing, little man? But yeah, so I'm using different software. Excuse me, I'm going to pick the Yorkie up. Come here, little man. Come on. Come here. Kissy. Proof that it's live. Proof that it's live. Come here. No, I don't want you, Pom. Come on. Gizmo. You won't come anywhere near me. Come on. That's okay. Oh, hopefully you did. Gizmo, everybody. Hopefully you didn't see my legs because I'm wearing shorts. Which is terrible of me, I know, considering it feels like winter outside. But yes, as I was saying, I was using Google. He's trying to say Google Keep with this, the other one. And that wasn't what worse, and the quality wasn't brilliant. So last night I did a test of live streaming. So I'm planning on having some live streams and having them guests on those, and using that along with OBS, and it was incredibly juddery. So I've been experimenting over the past 24 hours, and I've come to conclusions. If I want to do a live stream by myself, go straight onto YouTube and use YouTube's one, which is what I'm doing now. And I had a look at, there's 2 like free platforms, major ones you use free. There's StreamYard, and there's Riverside FM, and I looked at both of those. Riverside, I could have recorded the podcast on, but the problem with this is it only works on Chrome, and Chrome is quite slow on my Mac here because I use Firefox. And also, if somebody hasn't got Chrome, it's a bit of a pain. So I looked at StreamYard. And the thing I didn't like about StreamYard is the main one is, hello, it's a big logo in the corner. But to record the podcast, I've worked out that I can use it, and the way it'll record it will be that I can edit out their logo and put mine in, which is quite good. And if I'm going to do any live streams with anybody else and I'd use StreamYard, it looks fine. So that is my solutions, I think, to my live streaming, as long as this one goes okay. And my guest here, little Gizmo, who doesn't know what he wants to do. Say hello to my one watcher, Gizmo. Say hello. I may have heard you. Let me move the keyboard out of the way a second. So yeah, so that is sort of my solutions for streaming. I just wanted to try a bit of it for things, but waiting for this new microphone to come is the reason why I've got a backup of videos to come out. But I'm waiting to record some and some in the middle of editing because I've got new sound coming. It seems a bit silly to it without the new microphone. What are you doing, Gizmo? What are you doing? So yeah, so that's the main sort of thing about the streaming podcasting. Because the podcasting, there's loads of ways you can do it, but a lot of them cost a lot of money, but not a lot of money. But if I'm doing one podcast a month or every 6 weeks or so with Al and the odd bit of live streaming and things, I cannot justify the cost of some of these subscriptions. If I was doing a lot more, yes, I could, but at the moment I can't. So, and yes, they do have a lot of extra stuff. Ooh, what are you doing? I'm not going to put you down, because if I put you down, you're going to bark at me, aren't you? You're going to bark. So I think that's my sort of streaming podcast options. I've got to speak to Al yet and see if we can do a test on the StreamYard thing. We've got another idea for something else we might be doing together soon as well, so that'll be quite good. So yeah, that's my StreamYard options. But yeah, I'm really behind on my Giant April stuff, and I'm surprised Roy hasn't excommunicated me, which is always a possibility, because I'm back on. I haven't done as many videos as I was planning to, but there should be a flurry of them, especially when I get this new microphone. But I've been watching some really sort of dodgy ape films and non-ape films. I watched The Most Dangerous Game in the World, which was filmed before King Kong and is actually on the same sets that they used for King Kong. And it's got Fay Ray and who was in King Kong and the main guy, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head, in it as well. And it's about these people that they, in a boat that go a wreck on this island. And it turns out this island is run by this Count Zaroff, I think his name was. And he basically hunts people for sport. And it's a really good film. It's only an hour long. So I'm going to do a little video on that. I think in the UK it was originally called The Hounds of Zaroff, but it was called everywhere else The Most Dangerous Game in the World. It's based on a short story, and I've just found the short story online because it's all out of copyright, and I'm going to have a read of that in the next day or so. And from that, and last night I was meant to watch Ape versus Mecha Ape. Yes, which sounds as bad as it looks, but I never had time, so that's going to be on my viewing list for tonight. What else, ape-wise, are we doing? I'm reading the book, but I'm probably not going to do a huge amount on the book because everybody else has covered the history of the original novel. The novel was probably one of the first novelizations. I think it was the first novelization of a talking film. What are you doing, boy? Why don't you settle down? So that is one of the other things I will be doing. So I've got a few little videos planned to come out. I'm really been slow on them recently just because life and stress and things like that. So that should be coming soon. But if I said this live streaming bit is working and I said my new way of recording the podcast worked really well, hoping to do a bit more of a flow. So yeah, so hopefully this is looking okay to everybody. I will obviously check it afterwards, but I took the brief test I did earlier. Hey, what are you doing with your head? What are you doing with your head? I'm not putting you down on the floor because you'll bark at me again. Okay? You'll bark at me again, won't you? But yeah, that was the brief bits. Yeah, so Giant April I'm back on behind on. Also my guide to classic science fiction, or well, my classic science fiction. I have 2 videos of that lined up, but I now, because I've got a new microphone coming, want to re-record the sound or re-record the whole videos, which is just me being incredibly pedantic. As I said, the podcast with me now, which was due out on Tuesday, I was going to drop it. The editing got a lot more complicated just because there was 3 of us in it, and a couple of little bits went not more on with the recording, and that's why I was trying to look for another option to do it, and it's just taking me quite a few things to do it. I'm nearly done, and I should probably finish it tomorrow, so hopefully it should be up tomorrow evening. That's Thursday evening here in the UK, whatever the date is. I've got no idea, and that should be there. But yeah, just trying to make it easier so I can get more stuff out because I really enjoy doing it. And it's just doing. Hello, what are you doing? Yes, it's fluctuating between 1 and 2 persons. If you're the 1 person, hello. If you're the 2nd person, hello again. Oh, what's he doing? What are you doing? I want my coffee. What's up with your boy? So yes, that's the sort of things I've got lined up. And I said, now this streaming thing is sorted. I said I looked at the because you can stream directly from StreamYard, and I did consider doing that for Solo One, but I thought, what's the point if I can do it directly from YouTube and it's good enough quality? So the only time that'll happen is if there's more than just me. I said, might have a. Oh, what are you doing? He's turning around now. He's turning around. He's turning around. Being taken over by Yorkie. But yeah, my reading has been quite curtailed quite recently, just because my brain's not been in the right place. So I've read a lot of short stories. I've been going through lots and lots of short stories. So I'm partway through the King Kong book. Stop fidgeting, boy. Next time I need to bring a blanket up. I've got anything here I can give you. But yeah, so a lot of short stories. So I'm dipping into, I've got this actually on Kindle. I don't do a lot of Kindle stuff, but Kindle, which is, I've got the book of Philip Jose Farmer on here. And I'm dipping in and out some of those stories. And I've also got on my Kindle, find it, where is it? There it is. A book of, come out here, too complicated. If you can see that, this is a book of Greek short stories that I've been reading for about a year. I just sort of dip into it occasionally. And it's Greek science fiction short stories. And they've been obviously been translated. And they're quite interesting. They're not the best. I don't know whether because we have the thing with translators, they're all translated in the same amount of short stories. Sometimes their style of translation goes across it, because some of them, it does feel a bit samey at points. But every now and then there's a little gem in this book, and it's obviously authors I've never heard of. It's just I had a theory that, you know, there's lots of mythology that comes from Greece, so they must have some good science fiction writers. And I was looking into the history of science fiction in Greece, and it's quite interesting. So I may have to do something on that just to tell people about it. And the boy is fidgeting again. So yeah, so that's what I've been basically doing, in there, and some comics. I'm on a bit of a Captain Britain thing at the moment. If I can wade around this Yorkie. What are you doing? Hey, I've got, this is the original Captain Britain. I may have shown it in a video before, and this was the first generation of him, and that on the front was known as the egg outfit, because of the name. There was lime stat on British eggs to show that they were British, and people called it the egg outfit. I've also got, don't stick, just settle down, little lad. And I've also got here a summer special Captain Britain forward, and I've got the collection of Knights of Pendragon. I'm on a bit of a weird King Arthur kick, because if you know Captain Britain, it all relates to King Arthur. Hey, what you doing? So yeah, so I'm hoping that will have interest to people. So this is quite a rambly stream. Yeah, I'm trying to negate around a Yorkie. Negate around a Yorkie. Hello. And the other thing I'm going to do next month. Oh, the pom has gone off now. So if she goes off too much, I might have to say goodbye, because I can't wrestle with two dogs at the same time. Just let me get a drink a second. So I'm going to do some stuff on Dungeons and Dragons, because this year's the 50th anniversary of the game. Oh, and I used to, in my youth, play it a lot. I was there when it sort of first appeared, and I've got other stuff. I would play it now, but I don't know anybody else who'd want to play it with me. It sounds really sad, but oh, so I've got a question. Some of my old magazines here, which is like the original White Dwarf. This is White Dwarf before they all would do was Warhammer, and basically they screwed over the British role-playing game industry. They did. That's another story. They did suddenly, because they were like the biggest thing. And I've got some Imagine magazines, which is TSR, who obviously made Dungeons and Dragons at the time. Oops, which I'm turning that at the time. And this had some really good stuff in it still, as I was looking for it the other day. And that was TSR UK produced it. And they had some really interesting sort of modules and games and just some background stuff, just for somebody who's interested in reading and writing. And they had short stories, and people like Neil Gaiman used to write reviews. And I've got some of those. So I think I might do a few videos on that. So yeah, so that's it. So that's probably about the end of this little stream, because my one viewer, whoever you are, I'm talking to myself. But if you're watching this afterwards, I hope you found interesting. And if you're my person watching this, I do hope that you're finding this quite interesting as well. I said hopefully the podcast will come out tomorrow, and for my editing, and hopefully I may have solved some issues I had for editing it. So next time we do one, it's going to be a lot quicker. I hope I worry that I'm not looking at the people on the other side. So, but this is my first proper live stream that I am not taking down. I'm going to leave up to see if people look at it. Anyway, I need to go because this little boy's getting very fidgety. Here he is in his glory. He's got his jumper on. He's because the weather outside is horrible. It's like winter has come again, isn't it, my lad? It's like winter is here again. Little gizmo. You're going to spend all my time appearing in these, because you appeared in everything I do at the moment. Next time I need to make sure there's a blanket here, don't I? Anyway, unless there's anybody watching who has a question, because I'm not having anybody come in the chat, I am just about to pop off. Oh, what are you doing, Kissy? Don't step on that. Don't step on that. So yes, so I hope if you come to this after the fact, which anybody watching it probably has, that it wasn't just rambly mess. And I will speak to you all very soon, and there'll be some normal videos coming out soon, and I may try another one of these live things, and I've got something more to talk about in the next week or so, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, have a good evening, everybody, and I will speak to you all very soon.